All right, I think we are live. Checking the sound here as I'm walking actually outside, and it's a little bit windy, so let me know if you can hear me or not. I'm basically here just doing my monthly thing. Fire off questions if you've got them. Anything about drug testing, medical testing, the DOT physical, basic med, anything you want to know. I'm here to try to answer. So just type your questions in and I'll do my best to try to answer them. Cool, thanks, Cranky. No real announcements from me. I'm gonna have a video coming out on Tuesday. It's a little bit of an update about the DEA rescheduling. Some governors have signed a petition and are trying to press the DEA before the end of the year to get rescheduling done. I don't know how much good that's going to do, but that's what the attempt is anyway, from what I've read. So I'll have a new video coming out on Tuesday about that. Videos have been coming out a little slower. It's the holidays. Nobody's really watching these videos now. After the new year, and drivers slow down. This is their busy time of year, so I'm a little slower at the office as well. But once the new year hits again, people are going to be a lot more interested in getting their medicals done and things like that. So the videos will start pumping out. But there is maybe an interesting update video that I can make for Tuesday. So. All right, cool. I'm glad you got that job. X-Pigger, I'm doing good. Everything's well in my world. I'm out trying to get some sun. It's cold and I've been locked inside a lot and it's getting colder, so any chance I get where the weather's nice, I try to get out and take a walk, get some sun. Okay, so Kira, do I think weed and a CL will go together? I don't think that'll be the first step. No, I don't think. I think, so what's going to happen is saliva testing is going to happen. And again, they're dragging their feet on that one, just like they drag their feet on everything. But saliva test is going to happen, which means that basically somebody with the CDL could use up to a couple days before and then still not be at too high of risk of testing positive, but it's still going to be tested for. The FMCSA is not going to stop testing for THC. No updates other than what I just said, is that they need 2 labs to be certified. They have to certify 2 labs. The federal government has to certify these 2 labs to do mouth swabs. And from the last time I talked to them, they said that there was not even 2 labs that had applied to be certified. So that's where it stands. It's going to happen. Saliva testing is going to happen. It's just taking forever. Crossing the street here. So if your control is very, okay, so Kai Theme took a home drug test. The control line is the C line, I think that's what you're talking about, is faint. Can see it, but it's very light. So I don't know why the control field would be light. The control field is usually a very dark line. That just means you did the test right. But if you've got a line there, and then the T field is what you're concerned about. The T field, you need to see some kind of pink, usually a pink line in that field. So maybe redo the test if you've got a very faint control line. You just might have not have done the test correctly. To Kenny. Uh-oh, crossing the street again and almost getting hit. Sorry. So if it gets rescheduled and a safety-sensitive employer consumes it, it doesn't make any difference right now because they're still testing for it. So if it shows up on a test, the FMCSA doesn't care if it's legal right now. Again, this is all going to change, and there's no way for me to really predict. I don't see how they're going to be able to test for it if it's a Schedule III substance the way that they are. But then again, they still have this change in the works where they're making the saliva testing. So if you test positive, the FMCSA or the Department of Transportation, safety sensitive employers are still going to have a positive test. Yes, I theme the T line. If the T line is faint, it's typically still a negative test, but you're probably close to the cutoff level. Yeah, so if it's faint, you're typically okay. What I tell people, and again, I just put a video, this is my last video. My last video was about this faint line thing because people ask me this question all the time. And I'm not saying it's not a valid question, of course, but the thing you want to do is test every morning the first urine you have and try to see if you can get some kind of consistency day after day to know if you're actually negative or positive. Because with THC, it can vary because THC is fat soluble. Again, I mean, tons of videos on that. Huckleberry, no. I don't think they're dragging their feet because of that. I think they're dragging their feet because they're the government. And that's what the government does. The government, I mean, look what happened with this last shutdown. And every shutdown that they go through, they always, last minute, we came to some kind of miraculous resolution at the 12th hour. That's just what the government does. They don't get things done in a timely manner. Roberto, drug testing is not part of a DOT physical. No, it's separate. It would be part of to get a CDL, but just having a DOT physical done does not necessarily mean that you need a CDL. Scott, I have several videos on exactly that subject. I would highly recommend watching one of those. They're all estimates for how long someone typically should test positive for. Again, with THC, it's just hard because of how THC is processed in your body. Kytheme. That's a difficult one for me to talk about. I would say your best solution is to test every day, and then we do have some tips, but they're not here on YouTube. ExploroAcademy.com if you're looking to see what the best way to be prepared to take a drug test are. ExploroAcademy.com. X-Figure, sure, I guess. Is that a good idea? No. But you can do whatever you want to do, I guess. See if I missed any up here. California law. California and state law doesn't have anything to do with federal regulation. Suboxone. Suboxone shouldn't show up on like a federal test. False positives are always possible. There's no way for me to guarantee that, but no, they're not testing for it. Kaithim, you are very welcome. Hopefully we get this information out so people are informed. There's so much secrecy about drug testing and medicals, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why there has to be all this secrecy about what we're testing for and why we're testing for it and what the cutoff levels are. This information should be out there so people can be prepared to take these exams so that they don't freak out and fail and lose their job or whatever status they need testing for. So, yep. Thanks, Kara. Check out this, I know off subject, but this is Florence, Kentucky. Check out this huge, this is a free like water park that Florence has. It's obviously closed now because it's winter here in the, I guess what we call the north, but this whole like kids water park, that's like a legit water slide that you would see at a, like a real water park or something like that. And they have it just, it's a free, free for city residents that you can just walk in there and go to the water park. It's very cool. I would, no, if you've got a violation on the clearinghouse, then no, that wouldn't be, rescheduling shouldn't have anything to do with that. Boss, no, not if you want to not risk testing positive on a random. Not right now. Ass backwards? You are preaching to the choir, my friend. I've been dealing with these people for almost 10 years now. Ass backwards doesn't even begin to describe the levels of silliness that goes on when we're talking about the federal government and testing or basically doing anything, any kind of regulation. So absolutely. Yep, you got it. No problem. Oh man, we've got Hermie and we've got Rudolph up here from the old school cartoons. If you remember this, I'm going to show you guys this too. Hermie, Rudolph, and Yukon Cornelius. That is the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I do these. So no, I have an office in Florence, and then we have one in Cincinnati, and I'm just the middle of the day taking a walk. Jamar, no, I do not. Just scrolling back here. Oh man, that sun's right in you guys' face. There we go. Man, that's Jimmy. That is a tough question. Even if you're on even the prescribed dosage might might cause you to test positive. It's impossible to say. It depends on metabolisms and all that kind of stuff. What I can say is that if you're prescribed something and you test positive for it, the MRO, the medical review officer, there's a whole process in place where the MRO will review your prescription. And typically what I've found is that if something's being taken as prescribed and it's a legal substance, the MRO changes the positive result into a negative result. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, but it's impossible for me to say like what dosage you would have to be taking for you to get over the cutoff level of a false positive. Yeah, that's true. So if you, well, I mean, I don't know how they would know you're taking more than you're prescribed. Jerry, that is a great question. Adderall, substances like that. So Adderall being specifically, you can drive. It is on the list that disqualifies a driver, but the caveat to that is that you get a letter from your doctor stating that it's safe for you to drive while taking it. So your prescribing doctor can clear you. And typically I will accept those letters, those what I call clearance letters. Some people do, some people don't, but I certainly do. So I see drivers all the time taking Adderall, but they have to get a clearance letter saying it's safe for them to drive from their prescribing doctor. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, again, I can't advise you to take more than what you're prescribed, obviously. I mean, I would say don't do that. Oh man, here's the Grinch. This is crazy. All these, I didn't even notice. I drive past these every day. I didn't even notice all these different characters set up. Christopher, that's news to me that you can't even have a substance in the cab of your truck. A legal prescribed substance. That's news to me. All right, we're right at 20 minutes, so probably just going to cut it off now. I'll be back in a month doing another video, but Tuesday I'll have a video coming out again about that governor push to try to get regulation done by the end of the year, rescheduling done by the end of the year. So thanks everybody for your questions. Good questions as always. Yep, no problem, Jimmy. Take care, everybody.